11 minutes to 7. The government should act immediately on another pandemic, the pandemic of misinformation. So says a new report from the House of Lords Committee on Democracy and Digital Technologies. The committee is chaired by Lord Putnam, who is on the line now. Good morning, Lord Putnam.
Good morning, Michelle.
How should they act on that pandemic?
Have had the last 2 years developing a digital harms bill, which started 2017 under a lot of enthusiasm, and has vanished into the weeds. And it's a very important bill. It's the the government seem to have run out of.
Lord Putnam, bear with us. I think we're going to try and come back to you because your line is just dipping in and out to the extent that we can't follow everything you're saying. So apologies about that. We'll try and fix that as soon as we can. But on to a different story now. We can talk about policing, because Martin Hewitt, chairman of the National Police Chiefs Council, is on the line, because we are looking ahead to the big easing of England's lockdown this weekend, and how police forces in England could be braced to manage that, and indeed what could lie in store for the summer. Good morning, Mr. Hewitt.
Good morning.
Do you think that this is a moment that calls for a harder line on policing? I'm thinking particularly about those various kinds of parties, gathering, protests in recent weeks, some of which have resulted in injuries to police officers.
I think every situation has to be dealt with by the police officers and the commanders on the ground. And you know, I've been policing a long time, and often in the same incident, one group will describe us as being heavy-handed, one will describe us as being too soft. This is about bringing order back, bringing situations safely under control, containing those situations. And those decisions have to be made on the ground by the officers. We can
go back now to Lord Putnam, Chair of the Lords Democracy and Digital Technologies Committee, after the report that they've come out with on misinformation. Sorry about the line earlier, Lord Putnam. You were talking, I think, about the online harms bill, which you said seems to have disappeared.
Yes, Michelle. It was developed in 2017 as a book by Karen Bradley, picked up by Mr. Wright, Jeremy Wright, and it's vanished. And yet it's a very, very important bill. It's interesting listening to John Arlett just now talking about governments making decisions, sticking with them, and driving them through. This is the exact opposite. Here's a bill that the government paraded as being very important, and it is, which they've managed to lose somehow.
And when you have, I presume you've taken that up directly with them, what answer have you got?
But it looks like it's moving forward, that it's a very important bill, and they're looking at 2023 or 2024. I wish our entire committee, which is unanimous, all-party committee, I'm afraid we laughed.
2023 to 24, yes, does feel like a
that
long
would be
way
seven.
away.
That would be 7 years from conception. In the technology world, that's 2 lifetimes, Michelle.
Yes. Well, in the meantime, what we do have gathering pace as a technique or a tactic, if you like, to pressurize the social media companies on misinformation is this advertising boycott, particularly targeting Facebook. More companies are joining that. Is that something you welcome?
Yes, very much so. We took evidence from the advertising industry, very good evidence actually. We had Keith Weed, who was the former marketing director of Unilever, got there. And they were unanimous. They do not want their advertisements appearing alongside hate speech and conspiracy theories. That's unfortunately what the algorithms of the social media companies have. They're sometimes described as...
Yeah, just on the effect of it. We just heard from an investor a moment ago who said that it is a boycott that could destroy Facebook.
I don't think it could destroy Facebook, but I hope to God it makes them wake up. I mean, this is a wonderful case of 2 important organisations, government and the social media companies, just needing their heads knocked together to come up with solutions. They both know what the problems are. They both know where the solutions are to be found. And the 45 recommendations our committee's made, within those, there are some very thoughtful, well thought through, cross-party agreed solutions. All the government needs to do is pick those up and just do them. Just as John Arlett was saying just now. Don't mess about, deliver. Just deliver them.
Lord Putnam, Chair of the Lords Democracy and Digital Technologies Committee, thank you.
3 minutes to 7. Let's see whether we had all the weather today. Rain, snow, hail,